So call us conspiracy theorists or call us truth seekers because it's much the same, right? We, some of us anyway, grow up and we're led to believe a certain narrative. Even when you're a kid, right? You believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy, right? Your parents had you believe in these things. And you bought into it until you got to a certain age and you figured out differently that this was all made up, right? And this is the thing, right? I mean, I can understand the reasoning behind this stuff as a kid is to basically build your spirit, give you something to believe in, because belief is a very important thing in this life. What you truly believe in will become part of your reality. And now this is the kind of world we live in where we've been led to believe many things that may or may not have been true. And it's built on a control system because, if they cannot control the people, then they cannot have them believe in something that may or may not be true. This is the thing. We go and we get indoctrinated into the schooling system, the education system, right? A control system, making you believe that if you obtain a certain mark, if you retain a certain amount of information, and you can remember it and get tested on it, regardless if you like the subject or not, then you're proved to be smart. Whereas somebody who couldn't retain the information because they didn't like what they're being taught were proved to be stupid. And they'll never amount to anything in this life, in this world, in this basically this control system, right? If you don't think the schooling system was some sort of controlling system, then dig deeper. Because think about it. Think about how it was in school, especially in the early years, right? Uh, even before my time, they used to friggin' uh, use the belt on students. Right? You can't do that shit now, obviously, but it was a disciplinary system to have people groomed into believing a certain thing and to obey and to do as you're told and to look up to a higher figure, authority figure, such as a teacher, because they all of a sudden knew best, right? Raise your hand if you want to go to the washroom. Raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Raise your hand if you want to get a drink of water. Then you have, you know, two 15-minute recesses and a half an hour for lunch. And this is the thing. The schooling system is nothing more than an indoctrination into the matrix society. It's basically teaching people to be obedient workers. This is how the system was designed because the people who are on the higher level know how to manipulate perception and know how, if people are taught a certain thing, the masses are taught a certain thing and they believe a certain thing because it was taught in school, then they're easily controlled. So then you graduate. Now you're indoctrinated. Now you can go out into the workforce and become an obedient servant, citizen, whatever you want to call it, in life, right? Now you get a job. And in the job, you've got two 15-minute breaks and a half an hour for lunch. Does that sort of remind you of the schooling system? You have a boss that you have to, um, report to, sort of like a teacher in school, right? And you have to be there for a certain amount of time. And it's all structured and designed as a control system. This is the way it's always been, right? And the people who don't question it and think that they're doing their part in this matrix, this control system, by doing what you're told and not questioning anything and not being able to think for yourself. And maybe you're doing stuff that you don't really want to do because you never knew any better, right? Some people don't figure this out until a late freaking age. They think to themselves, well, there's got to be something more going on to this whole thing than what we're being taught, what we're being showed, right? And then the rabbit hole just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. Ah, man, I wanted to know. I wanted to know. And that's why I decided to dive deep and get red pilled, 5, 6 years ago, because I really wanted to know, like, there's got to be something more to this life than what the masses are led to believe. And then once you start digging deep, man, and you get into all sorts of stuff, and you unveil and you start understanding life at a deeper level, a deeper meaning, and understand why things are the way they are. And it ain't through history that you're being taught in school, right? Because the Aztecs in 1856 built a friggin' a hut on the lake or whatever it is, and they were teaching you all this jargon in school that had nothing to do with helping you in this life, right? Now, obviously that's up for debate in regards to the schooling system and how it's operating now and whatever the case may be. I'm just trying to make a point in regards to this is the way it was, right? And this is the way most of the population were programmed, right? And through your programming, it came through all different avenues, right? Through TV programming and through advertisements and movies and songs and music and lyrics and the radio that keeps repeating the same songs over and over again to ingrain it into your subconscious mind, this programming of a certain artist that you may like, and you would play the same song over and over and over again, right? And then these songs stick in your head, and it's all manipulation, man. It's all manipulation of your perception, man. It's always been that way. Manipulation of the five senses, and once you start to dig a little bit deeper and you start to understand why things are the way they are, and you've been duped and you've been led to believe a certain thing all your life, then you're on top of the game, because then you're one of the select few that can pull back and make other people aware of what exactly is that's going on in this world, man. And hey, people say, well, this is what we have to do to make a living, and this is what we have to do to freaking survive and eat, and nobody wants to do this, but we have to, right? And all depends how much you want to freaking pull back and create something different in your reality than just the regular 9 to 5, narrative that's been sold to you all your life, that people think that that's the only way that they can, earn a living in this life. Majority, right? Obviously, before the internet became so popular and people making money online and whatever the case may be, it's just the way it is, man. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.